use lifting straps. I use lifting straps from Grizzly Fitness. You can check out the link on my article. The reason I use lifting straps on stuff like seated rows, and if you're going to do deadlifts, you're going to need the lifting straps, is because it takes a lot of the strain off your wrists and means that your back, which is what you're trying to work during those exercises, is going to fatigue before your wrists. If I don't wear the lifting straps, my wrists fatigue before my back, and then my back is not getting the maximum benefit of that exercise, and my back is not being pushed to pure fatigue every time. A lot of guys, again, on bodybuilding.com talk about natural raw lifting and blah, 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 because your grip strength and your forearm strength. I couldn't care less about my forearms or my grip. My forearms get worked on almost every exercise, and they're at a perfectly good size already. I care about getting the maximum benefit for what I'm targeting in that particular exercise. And for stuff like rows and deadlifts, you're targeting the back, and I want the back to get maximum benefits. So I always keep those lifting straps in my bag, and they're cheap, they're efficient, and they're a terrific addition as far as I'm concerned. Number 8, use Spotify and a 32 gig SD card for state pumping music. For a guy like me who grew up in the pre-internet era, Spotify is the most amazing thing in the world. You can get any song you want at any particular time. Download it and it's yours. Okay, I've got thousands of songs on my Spotify, and the way I use the 32 SD card is I save a song and I go into Your Music, go into Songs, and click Available Offline. So that means that all my songs are available offline, and any song that I save to my music is automatically downloaded to my SD card. And that means that I can listen to the song at any time without lag, without data charges, and at a higher quality than if I were to stream it. The only time I'm streaming songs is if I'm hearing a song for the first time, judging whether I like it, and then once I save it, then it's added to my offline music. And you're not going to be able to listen songs without Spotify, even if you're downloading it offline. You're still only going to be able to listen to that song through the Spotify app, but that doesn't matter because I'm going to have Spotify forever. $8 a month to have access to any song available, and then have all my songs available offline to listen to is terrific. And that means that I can have state pumping music for whatever state I'm going for. So for cardio, I want something that's happy. If I'm lifting really heavy and hardcore, I'm going to want some aggressive metal or some aggressive hip hop. And if I'm doing like slow body weight squats and push-ups, which I'm doing those strictly for joint health and to release endorphins. I'm going to want to get into like a trance. So I'm going to want some kind of trance music, something like that. So all these different states are all available within the Spotify app, and it's just a terrific addition to your workout. Number 9, keep your phone, wallet, and keys with you at all times. Gyms have a terrible problem with break-ins that a lot of the times they won't tell you about because it's the employees that are stealing from you after the gym's closed. That's how they consistently have these break-ins. And pretty much every major gym in a major city is going to have a lot of break-ins. They're just not going to tell you about it. I used to like to have a nice long sauna, nice long shower after the gym. But once I saw and heard about all these break-ins, it's just not an option, okay? So I'll keep, my jeans and sweatshirt or whatever in the locker. Maybe my shoes, the shoes, it's no problem because I don't really care if that shit gets stolen. But the phone, the wallet, the keys, so much data is available on your phone these days. That's just not an option for me. And if you've got expensive clothes with you or expensive watches, then just put it all in your gym bag and carry it around with you. It saves so much hassle. So don't keep your stuff in the locker because there's a good chance that if you're going to the gym for 3 to 4 years, within that period you will get, your shit stolen. Number 10, wear cotton. Cotton or sweatpants are called sweatpants for a reason because you can sweat in them and they don't fucking stink. And I'm telling you, I've tried this for upwards of 6 months of wearing the same gym sweatpants. They do not smell. It is amazing. Okay, I'm not saying you have to do that, but wear cotton and it won't smell. On the top, you can wear like a cotton t-shirt, but that will smell a bit more because of armpit sweat, and that you're gonna have to change once a month or once every couple months, unless you use a cotton tank top like I do. Not only does the cotton tank top let you show off the guns that you've been working so hard on, but there's no sweat, and you can wear that for an entire year and it's not gonna stink. It's pretty amazing. So wear cotton. You know, if you're wearing like the typical gym shorts, the typical nylon, and you do one set of cardio, they're going to smell like ass. Okay, if you're wearing sweatpants, they are not going to smell. So wear cotton. It's much better for absorbing the smell. Number 11, wear Chucks. And then by that I mean Chuck Taylors. Chuck Taylors have been in style for the last 50 years. They'll probably be in style for the next 50 years. And they're the perfect shoe for lifting because they have a flat sole. And that means that the weight load for squats or trap bar deadlifts or for the elliptical machine is distributed evenly throughout the foot, and you're not going to develop any type of imbalance. Also, the shoes last forever. You're never going to have to, you can have one pair of Chuck Taylors for the rest of your life. So they last forever and they're cheap to buy. So get your Chucks and use them. Number 12, keep your gym stuff in your gym bag at all times. I've gone so far as to get 2 separate gym bags. I have a bootleg Fred Perry that I bought off AliExpress for like $40. And then I have an Adidas gym bag that has my gym stuff in it all the time. This isn't so crucial now that I don't have an office job. For those of you guys who don't have office jobs, if you don't keep your gym stuff in your gym bag all the time, once a month, you're going to get to the gym and you're not going to have your fucking gym shoes. And then, because you forgot to pack them, then you're going to be the guy working out in dress shoes and dress socks, looking like a jackass. Or you're going to forget your lifting straps and you're going to have to try and do your trap bar deadlifts without your lifting straps, and you're not going to be able to beat your personal bests, and therefore that particular day is going to be a waste. So you will forget if you have to pack your gym bag every time you leave. Just put everything in the gym bag, leave it there at all times, and you won't have to worry about forgetting anything. Next up, point number 13, lift slow and focus on the muscle. Explosive movement is a good way to get injured. Unless you're a UFC athlete, professional athlete who's training for explosive movement for his particular sport, or if you play pro football, explosive movement is not the way you want to approach weightlifting, because that is going to be very hard on your joints. It's going to be very easy to get injured. You want to keep a medium to a slow tempo and focus on feeling every inch of the movement with your mind on the particular exercise and the particular muscle that you're focusing on. I've taken it now where I actually do most of my movements with my eyes closed so that I can really focus in on the muscle. And for sitting down and using machines, this is not as difficult as it sounds. And this is especially important on back exercises, okay? It is very easy to do seated rows and do all the lifting in your wrists and shoulders as opposed to the back. But when you focus on the back, you focus on lifting only with your back, you are going to notice, one, that you're only going to be able to lift about 70% of what you lifted before, but two, you're going to notice that your back really blows up and you're going to get a pump in your back. Okay, if I don't focus on my back, I don't get a pump in my back. I get a pump in my forearms and I get a pump in my shoulders. So you really need to focus on the particular muscle that you want for that specific exercise. Another one where a lot of guys aren't lifting slow and aren't focusing is with the bicep curls. I used to do this too, where you're leaning in with your lower back and you're doing these jerky upward motions where your forearms and your lower back are doing half the work so that you can get so you can put more points on the scoreboards scoreboards. You can look better in the gym because you're throwing around a big bicep curl. But really what you want to do is you want to cut your bicep curl in half. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're lifting 25 pounds, and focus on contracting that bicep as much as possible on the eccentric and on the concentric. So on the way up and on the way down, you want constant tension on the bicep. My exercises now, and I'm eventually gonna have to give you guys my advanced routine, I don't do full extension on the way up, and I don't do full I don't do full extension on the way down. I'm keeping constant tension on it. I drop my lifts down, way down, so that I use relatively light weight, focus completely on the muscle, and keep constant tension throughout that exercise. All right. If you give this a shot, you might find 25-pound bicep curls exhausting. Okay, and you might find that you've got a pump in your bicep bigger than you ever had before when you're curling 100 pounds. So I'm not saying you still want to lift to fatigue, but you want to make sure that the fatigue is in the muscle that you are trying to work, as opposed to the auxiliary muscles. It's very, very important. Number 14, use Google Keep to record your lifts. Okay, you're lifting to fatigue and you're going in to break personal bests. That's all you're doing in the gym, and you need to have your lifts recorded, because otherwise you're not going to know what you need to hit to break your personal best. I find Google Keep is the best note-taking app because, one, it loads very quickly. Evernote loads way too slow on your phone. And number two, it is automatically synchronized across the web. The second you hit, the second you type it in, it's synced online. You can access it on the web, and it's linked to your Google username account. And unlike a lot of other note-taking apps, it's probably not going to go under anytime soon. So you can have that information available to you at any particular time.